LeapScholar for the first time. First time at LeapScholar, type 1. Type 1, those who are attending LeapScholar for the first time. Okay, wow. Bhavini Bhatt, Shashi, Dhruti from Gujarat, Devraj attending LeapScholar for the first time. Not first time. I said those who are attending for the first time, type number 1. Those who are attending LeapScholar for the first time. Yes, Sujal, same here. Rupali, John, Monisha, Anirudh, Thakur, okay, Ashish, Saibul, first timers, wonderful. First timers, very, very warm welcome to LeapScholars Masterclass with Manisha Angre. So this is Manisha Angre, the master trainer at LeapScholar, and today I am going to talk about certain strategies that many students either don't follow or they are not aware of these strategies. So how many of you have already written the exam? You are here because you have already written the exam. First time in my class. Okay, Malshi, welcome to the class. I'm attending the class, my class for the first time. Okay, in LeapScholar for the first time. Now tell me, how many of you have written the exam and are writing it the second time or the third time or the fourth time or fifth time, whatever time? If you are the one who has already written your exam, type I in the chat box. Type I in the chat box. Pias from Bangladesh. Hi, Pias. Okay, Pannu, Manjinder, Ravinder, one, I, 3 times. Okay, no, not an issue. 3 times, thrice, definitely not an issue. Right. So what made you join the session today? What made you join the session today? What made you join the session today? Try. Supriya has also written 3 times. Keyur has written, okay. Jobin Pannu has written, I am not good to write exam. I want to learn English. Okay, Vijay. I've already completed my 3rd course. Okay, Yanuj, good going. Try to get the band. Just want to explore my English ability here for writing and reading. Okay, Safia. So today I'm going to bring into your mind certain do's and don'ts which students should be following, but either they don't follow or they are not aware of, right? So we are going to discuss. So I hope everyone's sitting with a pen and a pad. Are you all sitting in the pad with a pen and now they are in safe hands? Hope yes, Sujal, thank you so much. They're all in safe hands. I hope they all clear their exams with flying colors, right? So sit with your pen and pads because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. You are all going to contemplate, you're all going to ponder over it, and we are going to come up with answers and replies and come to a solution for ourselves. So basically, it's sort of trying to understand what you should do and what you should not do, right? So I'm not going to give you proper, tips, but it is what we are going to work for ourselves because it has to be personalized. I cannot be giving a random general tip for everyone. I want to give a very personalized tip for everyone. Okay. So if you have your queries, if you have a question, do not hesitate. Please do write. Please do not think of whether I would answer or not. If I come across your question, I definitely would try to answer your questions to the best of my ability, right? So that help. Thank you. Oh, Bhautik, I am good. Thank you, Bhautik. Welcome back to the class. Okay, so how many of you, those who are attending for the master class at LeapScholar for the first time, those who are attending the master class at LeapScholar for the first time, right? So what is it that you will get if you attend 4 master classes within a week? How many master classes have you attended? 1, 2, 3 in a week. How many master classes have you attended in a week? So many. 1, 3, 10, 4. Okay, regular. 8, 9. No, almost all. Okay, great. It's my first class. Wonderful. So those who are attending for the first time, I have a masterclass challenge for you all. Are you all ready to take the masterclass challenge? Especially those who are here for the first time. Are you all ready to take the masterclass challenge? Now on. If you attend 4 masterclasses in the first week itself, in this particular week, if you attend masterclass, 4 masterclasses, you will be able to unlock a certificate that we have created for those first timers and those who are going to attend the masterclasses for 4 days, right? Or 4 Masterclass is within a week. You can do so in a day, you can do so in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, but it should be within a week. We'll let you know, Jayashree. Okay. Unlock fast track. Along with that, you will also receive fast track classes. Do you know what are fast track classes? Do you know what are fast track classes? Yes, Bhartik knows it. No, Shilpa doesn't know. Jagmeet knows. Jyoti does not know. Okay. So what are fast track classes? Fast track classes are my pre-recorded classes, right? Which cost 299 rupees. So these are pre-recorded classes on listening, on reading, on speaking and writing of yes. Yes, 40 hours. And these fast track courses include general English, general IELTS. It includes grammar. It includes various strategies, Atul sir's masterclasses, all of that. It's a package that you receive, and you can unlock this package if you attend 4 classes in a go, right? Thank you, Supriya. Thank you so much. Right? You can receive all for free if you attend 4 master classes. Isn't that excellent and wonderful? If you like the idea, type it's excellent. Type excellent in the chat box. How to get ideas in the writing task too. Now, Neet, how well do you read? Do you read newspapers every day? Excellent, wonderful, cool. Let's move ahead. Now, what do we have for you? So I'm going to talk about the speaking rooms too. And if you really want to understand the entire strategies on what you lack and what should be your strategy, please do stay until the end, because I'm going to come up with a lot of tips and techniques, right? Okay, so how many of you are here for the first time and have never attended the speaking rooms? Have never attended the speaking rooms on the LeapScholar app? Never attended the speaking rooms on the LeapScholar app? Oh, wow. So guys, I have something for you all. We are sharing a link with you in the chat box. Through that link, you can download the LeapScholar app. First of all, you need to download the LeapScholar app. See, I'm going to show you something over here. Let's go to it. Here, do you find how to join? It says, enter the IELTS Prep by LeapScholar app for all Android user. Yes, if you don't have if you have an iOS phone, then you may not be able to download the app. But if you can do it with certain hacks, you can download certain other apps that will help you to download the Android apps. So enter the IELTS Prep by LeapScholar app. There is a speak button at the bottom bar. There's a speak button at the bottom bar. Through that, you will find multiple speaking rooms, and you can find your IELTS buddies. You can find your IELTS partners with whom you can practice. So is this interesting? If it is interesting, type interesting in the chat box. Come on, type interesting in the chat box. If you have an iOS device, connect with us. We have shared a link with you in the chat box. If you're an iOS user and you're not able to download the app, please do connect on the link given to you in the chat box. We will guide you on how to join through if you are an iOS user. Totally satisfied. Okay, Ravinder says totally satisfied. Wonderful, interesting. And I really like your energy. Right. So moving further. Okay. Now I'm going to, as I told you, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So my first question is, what do you think that leads to lesser scores in IELTS? What is it that leads to lesser scores in IELTS? Come on, let me see. What is it that leads to, according to you, or what do you think? Vocabulary. So is it because of good vocabulary you score less bands? Lack of confidence. So I'm going to write few of them. Okay, let's write lack of confidence. Okay, someone says lack of confidence. Which particular module do you think that the lack of confidence impacts? Which speaking? In speaking, correct. Lack of confidence in speaking can impact your bands. Perfect, very well. Lack of concentration. Yes, absolutely. Here, lack of concentration could also be a barrier. Lack of dedication and practice. Absolutely. Lack of dedication and Practice. So I'm going to write that also. Practice is what lacks. Their reading is very difficult. But why is reading difficult, Harinder? Did you find that? Hesitation, if you want to say hesitation is another reason. So that is because of lack of confidence, hesitation, lack of understanding of. So I would say lack of comprehension. What kind of comprehension are we talking about? Lack of concentration, already written. Silly mistakes, silly mistakes. So I usually in my class say that they are not, sometimes they are not silly mistakes, sometimes they are stupid mistakes, right? They are stupid mistakes. So you might be making silly mistakes or stupid mistakes. What else causes you to score lesser? Uh, Grammar. Okay, so I'm going to write grammar in other section. What exactly do we mean by grammar? What lacks? So grammar should be good, grammar should be bad. So first of all, you need to correct your spelling of grammar. Sujal says vocabulary. So here, vocabulary, Sujal, in what sense? If you use good vocabulary, will you be scored less? Spelling mistakes. Yes, spelling mistakes could be the reason that you have scored less. Lexical resource. What do I talk about lexical resource? Good lexical resource is going to make you solve not understanding the question. Exactly, Sarvesh. Not understanding the question. Now, formal words. So what formal words, Rupal? That you are using formal words, still you are not getting good bands. That's what should I mean over here? All those who are writing in one word, you know, your first thing that you need to improve over here is that one word vocabulary and that one word lexical resource is not explaining to me anything. Stock of words, use linking words. So Bautik, should we use less linking words? So write properly. What is it that leads to lesser scores in IELTS? Vocabulary leads to lesser score or less use of vocabulary? Or is it less use of vocabulary? Or should I say limited use of vocabulary? I would write limited use of vocabulary. Isn't it limited use of vocabulary? Now, if you tell me vocabulary, how does vocabulary impact your less use of synonyms? Correct. Now say less use of synonyms. So when you said grammar, some of you only had written grammar. So what exactly happens in grammar? Using too many hi-fi words, yes, even that can in certain times impact your proper usage of words. So proper usage of words is going to impact your bands. Deepak, how? Limited use of vocabulary, not giving relevant answers, not in understanding the question, and not giving relevant answers. Right? Very well. What else? Not knowing the strategies. Wonderful, Tushar. Correct. Not aware of the strategies at all. Not aware or not following the strategies. This is a major impact, major issue that I've seen with many students. Is it correct? Too much content? In what sense are you asking, Anuj? Meaningless statement with no proper grammar. Exactly, meaningless. I would rather say sentences not making sense. Why do the sentences not make sense, Sujal? Not use a connector on the right place. Okay, so error in the use of characters. I'm going to write over here. Using incorrect connectors. Correct. Not framing the sentences properly. Sentences not making sense because they are not grammatically correct, grammatically incorrect. So you might be making errors of all sorts of grammar. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So now tell me, especially those who have already written your exams, which I'm going to put them down into numbers. Okay, let's put them down into numbers. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. Number 4. Which one do you find yourself lacking? What are you not doing? What is it that you're doing out of this? Because sometimes grammar changes the whole sentence, sometimes it is not asked or the least understanding of the question. Yes, Suraj, absolutely. Less use of complex and compound sentences. Rupal, I wouldn't exactly say less use of complex and compound sentences, but majority of the times when students are trying to form a complex and compound sentences, please write this down. When students are writing complex and compound sentences, in that case they themselves might have made grammatical errors, right? Okay, thank you, Khushbu, for pointing that out. Wonderful. Thank you for being so observant. Yes. Okay, 1 and 3 correct. Okay. uh 3 and 4, Palya, Kaur, Harinder. Okay, wonderful, great. Okay, now let's go and further find out what can unpack and what we can do in order to correct them, right? Okay, first let's go ahead. Strategies to boost listening score. Now, what impacts your listening score? So first of all, you try to answer my questions, and after that we will understand a couple of things. Now, though this is one of the easiest of modules, there are chances that you may score less over here. How many of you are not able to score a 7 band in listening? How many of you are stuck with 6.5 or so in listening? Yes, Mansi, pay attention to the class. We are helping out everyone. 5 and 6.5. Yes, Manjeet, around 30. Okay, around 30, 6.5 in listening, right? And how many of you are at 7 bands and would like to score an 8 or a 9 band, stuck in MCQs? Okay, wanted to improve, definitely, right? So let's understand. Now tell me, all those who have already written their exams, did you spend at least 10 hours in practicing speaking? Sorry, it should be listening. I'm sorry, this should be listening. How many of you have spent at least 10 hours in listening for the listening module? How many of you have spent at least 10 hours in practicing listening? Minimum. Alia says 1 hour only, not 10 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Right. Now, first of all, answer if yes or a no. Did you spend 10 hours in practicing? Yes, it should be a yes or a no. Is it 10 hours minimum? See, majority of you have written no, yes. Few have written yes, no. I am finding most of you to be writing a no. So this is one of the largest or one of the biggest or the primary error or the primary mistake students do while practicing. They think listening 2 to 3 hours should be sufficient. And this is especially for those who are not making an effort to score a 7 or 8 bands. See, nothing comes served you in a platter. So please do ensure that you are practicing sufficient. Daily, you can divide, Ravinder, depending upon your time. If you have 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, how much time do you have available? Daily, you can divide, but it should be not less than 10 hours, trust me. And while doing that, next is, how many of you make an effort to watch or listen to English programs? How many of you did make an effort to watch or listen to English programs? Basically, acquaint yourself with the accent. How many of you did? Yes, you do. Yes, wonderful. Good job. Has that helped you? Did this help you? So Bhavini has never done that. Did this help you? If yes, in what sense did it help you? In what sense did it help you? Little bit foreign words, very helpful. You watch English shows. What has changed since you started watching these English shows or listening to the podcast? What has changed since then? What has changed in a positive manner? in form of new vocabulary. You are able to understand that there are certain vocabulary, understanding the oral language. You are able to understand their accents. Sometimes it is difficult, but it won't be difficult. I never say that it has to be easy, right? In terms of bus or buses, okay. Accepting and understanding accent, I have been thinking, okay, wonderful. Dang is saying that it has helped him in thinking in English and no conversation required from Hindi to English. Absolutely. Able to understand the accent. I have only 1 month of like, okay, Roshni, I'll focus on the accent. You have to focus on the accent as well. You have to understand the accent. It's not the only thing you have to do. Now tell me, do you read the questions correctly? How many of you find yourself losing your scores because you did not understand the question correctly? How many of you misread the questions at times? Or once in a while you misread the question? How many of you are able to know that sometimes, often, okay, sometimes, often, once in a test, misread, I misread the question, it can be 4 to 5 times, right? See, now if you misread even one question, you are losing 1 mark. And some of you are saying sometimes, some of you are saying often, some of you are saying that at least 4 to 5 times in a complete test. Now just understand the impact that it is making to your band score. Isn't it making a great impact to your band score? So don't you think this is something that you have to be extremely wary about? Don't you think this is something that you have to keep in your mind, that you cannot read the questions incorrectly? Yes. Next, do you make notes? Do you make notes or listen for correct facts and figures? Do you do note taking? Do you practice note taking? How many of you do note taking while you are listening? No, never done that. This is really, really crucial. The better, see, you can become a pro only once you have started taking notes. Yes, Anusha, that helps. You can become a pro only when you have started taking your notes. Maybe after those 10 hours of practice, you don't require, because now your brain is acclimatized and your focus and attention is acclimatized and you don't require to make notes. But initially, 10 days, right? I just start by listening to others. A wonderful, Ravinder. No, not an issue. Anything or anyone that you listen to, please make notes as you listen. If you're not taking notes, then definitely you cannot score a 9 band at all, right? Yes, absolutely, Kushi. But then many people don't. They think that they can all memorize whatever was said. Next, so what you need to do is learn note-taking techniques. What you are listening to, especially the facts, the figures, the number of times they change, right? So Sujil, Bhautik, those who have attended my classes, the first question that I ask in a listening session is, how many times did you hear something, or what did you hear, or how many times did the speaker change, or how many times the numbers were spoken, how many times the directions were given. If you remember, we did this in the class. Yes, Ujjwal, Bhautik. Yes, so we have been doing all of these, and that really helps you to stay focused on what was being said when, how, and how many times. Yes, yes, Ujjwal says that he remembers, right? Next, remember to pay attention to paraphrased information and listen for synonyms. You have to make sure that there will be synonyms. You have to make sure, yes, Sheetal, please write your question first of all. Yes, you have to listen, you have to concentrate, you have to focus on what word will be used in place of the one that is given to you in the question, right? So first read the question correctly and also prepare yourself on what kind of synonyms you hear, how is the speaker going to mention those words, right? Yes. Next, further going ahead, find out who the speakers are. Some things that test takers are not aware of, why they read questions incorrectly. We have a question in our sessions wherein there's a question that is asking for what did the male want to do, or what did the male did, or what did the male see. The male person in the name of the male person is given, right? So the students sometimes end up answering about the information on the female. right? Which is not exactly the answer. So first of all, you need to know, is the question asking you what about the male or the female? So it could be a student and a teacher, it could be anyone. So first of all, identify your question and relate it to who the speakers are. Are you all getting it? Yes, Gautik, there were certain questions in the class, I do remember, where we faltered on such questions, some of them, right? Identifying who the speaker is and the question is related to which speaker, so that you listen to that particular. For example, there's a tutor and a student, they are discussing, so the question may be about what the student said and you may answer about what the tutor said. So again, that is an incorrect answer. So paying attention to the question and answering as per the question is really important. Yes, Khushi, we can do that once you join our batches. Okay, fine. Now, what are the strategies to boost? So, are we clear with listening? Are we clear with listening? What things? Now, whatever I did discuss right now, how many of you missed on any one of these key factors? How many of you missed on to any one of these key factors? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which key factor did you miss? Or which you were not aware of? Many of you said note making. Yes, Dipanshi. So note making is one major aspect that you all should never forget to do and start taking notes. Wonderful. Cool, cool, cool. Very well. Okay, now note taking, speaking for 10 hours. Roshni says that she does not practice 2 to 3 hours. First and the fourth one, Dhruti says first and the fourth, not making notes and not spending sufficient time. Sometimes 2 and 4. Okay, okay, Khushi, got it. Perfect, right? So let's go ahead. Ma'am, please tell about how to write days, as this is a part where I'm confused. Okay, Sujal, I'll address this at the end. Yes, Sujal, even that is correct. Even that is correct. What you have written is also correct. Okay, now moving ahead to the reading section. Now, what impacts your reading? First of all, did you spend around 20 hours practicing reading questions? Manjeet, join our batches, will tell you how to make notes. Have you spent 20 hours practicing reading? No, 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 no. In these, all those who are answering over here, how many of you are people who have already written IELTS earlier? How many of you are people who have written IELTS earlier and did not spend 20 hours and still not spending 20 hours in reading, have not spent? So many of you, so many of you. I think some of you feel that it is boring, but nothing can be achieved with ample practice. So make sure that you are spending at least 20 hours in your reading questions. Did you learn how to solve or approach different question types? Did you learn how to solve or approach different question types? How many of you have learned the strategies? Because for most of the question types, the strategies vary. They are not the same strategy for every question. How much time to spend in grammar? Ramandeep, that is something that you should be doing parallelly every day until you are master at it. No, you haven't learned that. So you should also be knowing how to solve short answer question, how to solve an MCQ question, how to solve a yes, no, not given question, or how to solve a match heading question, because all the question types are different. Excuse me. All the question types are different and they may have certain differences in the strategies that you follow. Yes, some strategies definitely change, Supriya. Yes. How much time do you need to spend in a day? Arsenal, that depends upon how much time do you have in a day and when do you decide to write your exam. I would suggest that at least spend, if you are a professional, then spend 1 hour a day. If you, because you may not have sufficient time to give to your IELTS practice. And all those who are students, I would suggest that spend at least 2 hours to 3 hours a day, because you may be able to have sufficient time in order to practice for your IELTS examination. Okay, right. Now, next is, did you learn to apply the techniques correctly? Now, some of you, some of you have joined multiple batches. You might be joining offline. But did you apply the techniques correctly, or did you fall back to your own practices? So when we tell in the class that apply deducing over here, or when we say that apply detailed reading here, apply scanning here, or when we say that apply the technique of inferencing over here, then did you apply those techniques? Sheetal, first of all, please write your question in the chat box. You are constantly asking me reply, but what am I supposed to reply? I don't see any question. Okay, so did you learn and apply the techniques? How many of you really don't apply those techniques and just go your way? My plan to give IELTS is next month, Ravinder. Then you should be spending at least 3 to 4 answers. I do, but my answers are not correct. Then Kushi, then again, there's a flaw in the way you are reading. Okay, then there's a problem with the comprehension skill. In my personal experience in reading magazine, read articles. Yes, thank you, Bautik. Bautik is saying that he reads a lot of articles from CNN, BBC, magazines. Right. Yes, applying and practicing, wonderful. Next is, did you analyze your strengths and weaknesses, finding keywords? Okay, I applied this technique, but Anush, that is not the sufficient technique. Are you applying the rest of the techniques? Which tenses are important in writing task 2? All the tenses are important in writing task 2. It depends upon what your question is. How to manage time in reading, Sarvesh? Again, if you know the strategies, you know how to save your time and how to manage your time. So what kind of strategies have you all learned? I believe that only some of you are only typing, looking for keywords, facing problem in time management for reading. You know, there are certain techniques that save your time. Can you name 2 techniques that can save your time? 3 techniques, I would say. Skimming and scanning, they are not the only techniques. There are many other techniques. Scanning definitely helps you to save your time. But do you receive your answers, or do you find your answers only by scanning? Do you find your answers only by scanning? No, right? No. Understanding synonyms, okay? Finding synonyms for the word, okay? No. Then what are the other? Focus reading. Understanding, you know how many techniques are involved in reading? Do you know how many techniques are involved in reading? There are 10 techniques that are involved. Can you name a few? Can you name a few? Keywords, okay? And you don't have to translate anything, Ravinder. First of all, no translation. Translation doesn't work. You don't have any idea. There are 10 techniques that you need to apply. It is not just scanning and skimming. There are various other techniques like predicting, keyword identification. Then there is summarizing. There is definitely deducing, inferring, right? Various techniques. So there are at least 10 techniques. Fill the summary, go through paragraph, prediction, and synonyms. Yes, Palyas, a few of them have been correct, right? Yes. So you should know those techniques and you should apply them. You cannot receive answer by just 1 or 2 techniques. Second, did you analyze your strengths and weaknesses? Did you analyze your strengths and weaknesses? So what kind of strengths and weaknesses do you need to identify? First of all, what different question types you are good at? What question types require you more time? Okay. Other things, are you able to solve certain number of questions quickly and correctly? You know that you're going to solve them correctly. And what are the number of questions, though you try, you do not find them correctly in the first instance? How many of you have been able to identify the strengths and weaknesses? Right. So once you identify your strengths and weaknesses, you need to work on your weaknesses while your strengths remain intact. So many times what happens that the students, they start working on their weaknesses, and that leads to a weakening of their strengths as well. This should not happen, right? Okay. Correct. So what will you do? You need to identify your strengths and weakness. So spend sufficient time in rectifying wrong strategies. Going to give detailed lectures on these strategies in the classes. Yes, Manjeet, in the classes. In the classes, Karamveer, identify your strengths and weaknesses and work on the correcting your strategies. So maybe some of your strategies are correct. You know, now some students, they are not able to get correct answer because let's say they scanned correctly. For example, let's take only scanning and skimming. Many of you are talking about scanning and skimming. Now, many of you scanned the answer correctly, but because you did not skim correctly, your answer is still incorrect. And then you believe that your strategies are not helping me. Right, Bautik, your batch is starting very soon. Yes, Bautik, I'm coming to that. My batches are starting soon, Palya. I'm sharing that in the next 2 slides, okay? Heading and locating information, not getting answer. Yes, because you might be following one technique, but you might be missing out on to the other thing. You might have found a keyword, but you might not have found the main idea, Arslin. So it is never a single skill. It is basically a combination of skills. So first of all, you should know the combination of skill and you should use the combination of skills correctly. Next is, as you learn reading skills, you must apply them to score higher. First of all, you must apply them. Recently, I came across a few students who have learned all the techniques. You know, they've learned all the techniques, but mashallah, very nice. They don't use them. They never use them and they just want to do it their way, and they were saying that, ma'am, the techniques are not helping. Ekdam mashallah. Did you feel that, right? Mashallah. Ekdam fantastic. Techniques are not working, but you have not used them. How will they work? Right? So first of all, what you learn, you need to apply them. It's starting today itself, Khushi. It's starting today itself. So first of all, do apply what you learn. It is not to be stored, right? It is not to be stored and to be locked in a cupboard. Don't go home. Whatever teacher has taught, I'm going to download all the lectures. Recordings are fantastic. I really love the recordings of ma'am, and I'm going to download all of them. You've downloaded all of them, but never taken a chance or never made an effort to use any one of them. Are you any one of them? Navneet, you may, yes. हाँ, Suja says नकल के लिए भी अकल चाहिए, right? So you have to understand that it is not just about making notes, it is also about learning. Learning anything new is time consuming and must be considered while you practice. So somebody has asked me, okay, can we get 8+ bands after taking 1 month class from LeapScholar? Now, what should be the response to this? By taking the class in itself, can you change your score? Why am I talking about all of these things that you do not do? Have you spent the time? Have you used the approach that we are teaching in the class? By only attending the lecture, you don't get it, Navneet. You will have to follow everything that we do in the class. And some of them are okay. 3 days, 4th days, 5th days, balloon mein se hawa nikal gayi sari. No air in the balloon. It was simply a balloon. 5th day, they feel, who's going to do the homework? Who's going to make all the efforts? That's what happens, right? Self-practice is definitely a must. Correct. Thank you, all of you all. Yes, Supriya. Okay. So some of you are asking about batches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first show you the batches, and then I'll come to it once again, right? I'll just show you the batches. Okay, hold on. So my batches are going live. Where's the slide? Guys, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. And I'm going to quickly show you the batches that we are going live with. Some of you are asking about the batches. So my batches are going live today and tomorrow. Okay, so today, it's starting today. Those who want to join me 5:30 to 6:30, my batch is going live 5:30 to 6:30. You want counseling spelling? First, Piyush, you need to correct your counseling spelling. Safia, could you help me in IELTS reading and writing tips? Yes, Safia, you can join our reading and writing batches, which are going to be launched very soon. So you can join those batches, right? So you can join my batch, IELTS 10 days batch, which is starting today itself. Or if not today, you can join my batch, which is starting tomorrow, 7 to 8 p.m. Can you see these two batches? And there are various other batches too that are joining very soon, right? Charanjit, hello. I'm going to talk about all the 4 modules in these batches. Good evening, Navjot. Good evening. Why are you so late? Okay, fine. I have joined. Okay, Navneet, great. See you in the batch then, writing batch. It will soon come. Here I'm going to talk about all the batches, all the modules. Okay, fine. So coming back to where we were, quickly, we will run on to a couple of things and okay, we'll quickly run on to reading and writing and then we'll come back to this. Okay, fine. So we come back to our reading strategies done. So we'll come to writing strategies. How many of you not scored desired in writing? Good evening, Sukhdeep. What like soda, Palya? I didn't get it. How many of you did not score desired band in writing? How many of you did not achieve the desired bands in writing? Everyone mostly 5.5 to 6 only. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. First of all, did you follow the writing format? Do you know what is a writing format? Recently, I came across someone. Yes, no, yes, you follow. Recently, I came across someone who joined the batch but did not attend the writing sessions, considering that she writes very well. Considering that she writes very well, she did not join the writing sessions, and tomorrow is her exam, and today she comes to me with a sample writing, and I was shocked because she did not even know the correct format. So how many of you have never attended any session and do not know the correct writing format? How many of you do not know the correct writing format? So this could be one of the reasons for you to not score. I have never attended any of the classes. So now this is one of the major flips on not scoring, because I think, what is writing? I used to write so well in college. I used to write so well in school. So I can even write IELTS. What's a big deal? Absolutely, Navneet, but that is for task 2. There's a different format for task 1. And then I confronted the student and I got to know that the student thinks that she knows writing so well and she did not need to attend any of the writing sessions. So do you also fall in a similar category? Do you also fall into the similar category that you know writing so well, so I don't need to attend them? So if not, then please learn the correct writing format. Did you copy anything from the question? How many of you copy the question? Survey, please join my batch starting today and tomorrow. How many of you do copy the words from the question? Yes, no. A few words from the question. Spelling mistakes and grammar errors, why I am not able to get desired band. Okay. Yes, a few words. Do you copy a few words? Do you copy a few words, right? Okay. Now, did you write in paragraphs or bullet points? I've come across writing where everything was in bullet points. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? Someone's asking my name. Does punctuation play a major role? Absolutely, Swastik, it does play a major role, okay? Recently, I came across someone who had written an essay in bullet points and I was really stunned because you cannot write an essay in bullet points. Essay means paragraphing. You have to write in paragraphs. See, this is ignorance. Ignorance. Many people don't know that you cannot write bullet points. Sheetal, what do you say? You tell me. You are asking me the question. I think your response is in the question itself. Writing in paragraphs, my sister Afsana, she can join my batch. My name is Manisha Angre. Okay. Did you use cliched words or did you change as per requirement of the task? What kind of vocabulary did you use? I am not talking about uncommon words, but I am talking about the common words. Many students don't use even the common words correctly. So are you stuck in the trap of common words? Are you stuck in the trap of common words? I use common words. Common words is fine. But yeah, but are they? This is my first class. Okay. Thank you, Kimi. Formal vocabulary we should use. Yes, Mansi, absolutely. You know, some students write what kind of words? Folks. How many of you write folks? How many of you write? Yes, Pooja, please do ask. How many of you write folks? How many of you write what do you say? Human beings. How many of you write kids? Like American English compared to British, but some people tease me, they call me a speak accent. It depends. Krishna, I'm not sure whether your accent is natural. Even if it is natural, then it shouldn't be a problem. A word folk. You use the word folks. Now, folks word is an informal word. You shouldn't be using. Now, for people, many people write, many students write human beings for people. Not the correct way of paraphrasing people. People is people. It's not a species that we are talking about. You cannot write human beings for people. A major fall. Kids, when you're talking about students, some of them start writing them to be teenagers. Now there's a difference between students and teenagers. Many of you are professionals here. Are you all teenagers? But you're students, right? So students can be anyone. A kid could be a student. An adult could be a student. So does teenager be the appropriate word for writing students? Does that become an appropriate word? Right? It could be learners, correct, Sujal? It could be learners, but not teenagers. So this is how students fall into the trap of incorrect usage of vocabulary. Exactly, Bautik. Not all words need changing. They have to be mindfully written. Right? They have to be mindfully written. Next, did you understand the task properly? Some of you have been asking this from a long time. When do you write an incorrect thesis statement, Sheetal? Could you just tell me that? When people write incorrect thesis statement, they write an incorrect thesis statement when they have not understood the task. It's an advantage, disadvantage. Sorry, it's a discussion essay, and the thesis statement is advantage and disadvantage. It's not an opinion sentence. It's not an opinion task, but they are still giving their opinions explicitly. It is an essay on problems and solutions, but they have not addressed the solutions. Yes, Pooja, I said yes, yes, yes. I explicitly said yes, Pooja, yes. Okay, so this is not understanding the task. I did say twice, thrice, yes, Pooja. So either you're not paying attention to what I am saying in the class. Lack of focus. And learn the correct form of writing. Make sure you are writing in your own words, else you will lose your marks if you're going to copy the questions. Grammar is essential, but most importantly, use your own experience and knowledge with relevant information. If your information is not relevant, you will definitely lose your score. Welcome to the class, Arman. Right? So these are the pointers that you must keep in mind while you want to improve. Yeah, how many of you are definitely not following at least one or two, at least one of these strategies? How many of you are not following at least one of these strategies? Type yes in the chat box. Wonderful. Now, strategies to boost your speaking score, right? Okay. What impacts your speaking score? First of all, how confident are you while speaking? Write your confidence in percentage in the chat box. How many hours do I need to dedicate to writing practice? 1 hour should be sufficient, Sanskrita, because you're not writing an answer every day. You're also making efforts in learning your vocabulary, framing sentences, grammar, and so on. So at least 1 hour. I'm not confident. Write in percentage. Krishna, for that, You may learn the correct pronunciation. You need to know phonetics in that case. 90%, 70%, little bit, 80%. I hesitate a little bit, 70%, not very confident. So 50% confident, 40% confident. How confident are you? 75%, 50%. Okay, good. So a good level of confidence, it is automatically going to boost your entire speaking test, because when you're confident, there is less chance of you to hesitate. And when you hesitate less, you will definitely find your scores in fluency improving, right? Give IELTS and I don't know anything about it. Bhanu Pratap, join the classes. We are starting the classes today itself, 5:30. You can join my batch starting 5:30 today itself, right? Okay. Do you practice by recording yourself? I got it, Souvik, but then you need not worry about that. You have to just start speaking, right? Do you practice by recording yourself? 80% of the people, they don't record themselves because they think it does not help at all. But trust me, it will help you more than speaking to a friend also. Because there you yourself would know, when you listen to yourself, you yourself would know how you speak. Maybe you don't like your own tone. You may say, I speak so flat. I'm not using any intonation at all, right? So you need to definitely record your answers. If you're not recording your answers, definitely you are making a major, that's a major pitfall in your preparation. Did you try LeapScholar speaking rooms? How many of you have tried LeapScholar speaking rooms? LeapScholar speaking rooms. Did you speak to our super hosts? Palia has done. Ranasan has done. Chaitanya, I've tried. No, Bhanu Pratap, not tried. That's really not done. Please do join our speaking rooms. How many of you have not downloaded the app? Yes, done, tried, wonderful. So join and also win a chance to become a super host. You can become a super host by hosting excellent sessions. So if you are excellent at hosting, not on iOS device, Navneet, for iOS students, we have already shared a link. Connect with us if you are an iOS student, and we will tell you what to do for an iOS student. So we'll share the link with you in the chat box. Okay, right. Next, do you speak without preparation? Make sure that you are making well use of your time and preparing yourself well. Don't go for the test just like that, because it costs you costs you your pocket. It may burn a hole in your pocket, and we don't want you to go to the exam center without preparation. So practice with friends, peers who can help you speak better. Ask them whether they understood what you wanted to say. So sometimes you're not able to speak properly, but they can help you. So iOS users, we are sharing the link in the chat box. You can take help from our LeapScholar. Once again, LeapScholar at rescue. All iOS users, LeapScholar at rescue. Oh my God, we are serving all iOS users. Wow. So we have, you ask us and we have a solution. You ask us and we have a solution. Next, make sure that your answers make sense to the listener. Use appropriate connectors and discourse markers, because some of you might be good at speaking, pronunciation, but you may not be forming coherent answers, right? So use elaboration to express. Don't be succinct. The examiner wants to listen to your response. So make sure that you're not giving extremely brief response and you are trying to incorporate longer answers. The join speaking call room, it only shows the Play Store, not showing the Apple Store. What do I do? Abu Sai Khan, we have shared a link with you. Please click on the link and connect with us on Telegram. Okay, right. So what are LeapScholar speaking rooms? Those who have not joined, please download the app. Enter the IELTS Prep by LeapScholar app. Click on the speak button at the bottom of the bar. Join speaking rooms. You will find a lot of super hosts who are hosting the sessions. They will definitely help you improve and help you speak better. Right? Join our speaking rooms. Those who have never joined, the link has been shared in your chat box. You can connect with us through the link. You will also find our educators over there. And yes, Masterclass challenge. Attend any 4 masterclasses. You can avail all the fast track courses for free if you join the 4 masterclasses in a week. Yes, Anuj, what did you miss? Bautik, as of now, no morning batches. Manisha ma'am is can only join for evening. So you all have to make efforts to join my sessions, right? How to join the masterclass? You're already in a masterclass, Maxima. I know, Bautik, but as of now, there are so many other educators. We can join more than 4. You can join, but if you join minimum 4, you need to join at least 4. Difficult to understand British English comparative because I find it a bit difficult to understand. Krishna, now this is different. I understand British better compared to American, because American, then they don't pronounce the words completely at times, whereas the British pronounce the words completely correctly. Or yes, you can set reminders by clicking on the link that has been shared with you. So get your notifications for the next masterclass, and that way you can join 4 masterclasses. I'm going to be here once again tomorrow, 4 o'clock, same time. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking a little more on speaking. So if you want to join my speaking session tomorrow, please click on the notifications and on the link. I want a view of CN Tower from my window, like I'm seeing it besides you. Definitely, so chill. That's what my wish is for all of you all. Yes, please click on the link that we have shared with you in the chat box if you want to join my session tomorrow on speaking. Do join and do stay connected, and we have lots of masterclasses today. Some one by evening masterclass by Atul sir, and then we have 2 more sessions, one tomorrow by Megha, and we had one in the morning. Tomorrow we have one session by Megha. Day after tomorrow again we have another session by Megha. So make efforts, you can join all of them. Okay, right. Okay, so we come to masterclasses features. What do you get in a masterclass? What do you get in a masterclass? You get daily life masterclasses. They are all for free. You can understand basic IELTS. You can learn strategies. Especially beginners can learn a lot of strategies. You can learn module-wide tips for beginners, spoken English classes for beginners, grammar, vocabulary, interviewers with top IELTS scorers, right? So many things are discussed in the masterclasses. Please do join us in these masterclasses, right? 4 masterclasses, how to avail the certificate and the plus batch. Soumya Romit has joined 4 masterclasses. How will he find the certificates? No plus batch.
Ma'am, the certificates will be sent and the fast track recording access will be sent via email on every Monday. So maybe today or maybe the next Monday he'll be receiving it.
Okay, thank you so much, Romit. So I hope you received your answer. So that was a great session, and I really enjoyed being here with you all. Those who haven't joined any of the batches, please join the batches. My batch is being launching today itself. I did talk about it to you. So yes, do join me soon. One of the batches starting today, 5:30. Thank you, Kimi. Okay, write down your answer, Pooja. Otherwise, you will miss the bus. So 5:30 to 6:30 today. Or you can go to our webpage. You can find the batches. One batch is starting today and the other batch is starting tomorrow, 7. Thank you, Ashraf. Thank you so much. Beginner here and I want to improve my conversation. Krishan, join the batches. Moinul Haq, it would be dispatched through to you via email, right? So how many of you I'm going to see in my batch today or tomorrow? Type in the chat box. Raise your hands. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 20, wow, 40, 50. And so many of you writing in the chat box. Wonderful. Cool. Thank you all for joining. See you all in the class. 5:30, 25 minutes to go. Thank you, Bautik. Have a great time. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shadrash. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Good evening.